It's another wonderful and beautiful Saturday, and this is welcoming you to this Saturday's edition of Shagalinku. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, and thanks for joining us. Okay, today it's a beautiful day. A lot of people might be at home, those who don't, work for weekends. Some people work Mondays to Fridays, and others like us work around the clock, even on celebration days, Christmas days, Valentine Day. We are always working. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate. And this is to let you know that we're streaming on three platforms actually. We're streaming live on YouTube. It's Shagalinko TV. We're streaming live on our Facebook page, which is also Shagalinko TV. And then we're streaming live from my personal page, Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari. And for those of you who are friends and colleagues and family with my guest, just check his Facebook wall. You will see the link to the program. The YouTube and the Facebook link is there. By now, you should even see him or see us streaming live there. So you just click on it, and it will take you here, and then you could join in the discussions. And also to say that the comment section is open. You can drop your comments. The question or topic of our discussion is scrolling right now. So you could see it, drop your comments there, and we'll read it. Or questions you have for our guest, we'll read all of them, and he will respond to it. Youth development is what we're talking about today. We're looking at all the issues surrounding youth development. I know it's a very huge subject and always elicit controversies. And so I'm prepared, and I know that my guest is also prepared to maybe come back a second time and address some of the gray areas that we didn't cover. But this is to just welcome my guest to the program. His name is Josiah Opeyemi Hamza, and he lives in the United Kingdom, although he's a Nigerian as well, an African, and a life coach, an entrepreneur, and he's doing so well. We'll be touching in some of his endeavors and all that as the program progresses. But for you watching us, we're asking, how can we make the issue of youth development better? How can we take it to the next level? Are there things we need to know, or are there things young people are also not doing? Are there things the society is not taking into cognizance, and that's why we're having a kind of disparity between the government, the society, the youth, and all that? Anyway, let me bring in my guest. I'll ask him to do a few more introductions that I missed out. Hello, Josiah. Good to have you.
It's a pleasure. I'm glad to be with you on the show today. Yeah, once again, my name is Josiah. Some people know me as Mansour because I used to be a Muslim. So you either call me Josiah or Mansour or Opeyemi Hamza. Like you rightly said, an entrepreneur, a life coach, and also a youth worker. The journey all started in 2013 into working with the youth. At that point in time in my life, I sat back and I took stock of my life and for what is actually important in when it comes to better building. And not long ago, the answer came to me as youth development. So I made that decision as a person to be part of the process, to be part of the hands on the deck. So and today I'm glad to be with you to really look into these most important pillars of societal building. Yeah. Thank
Thank you very much, Josiah. So yes, the comment sections are there. People are already dropping messages. This one is from Williams Warigon in Abuja, Nigeria. It says, "I am a fan always. Great topic. We are watching." Thank you very much. Yes, Williams, always joining us. Okay, Mr. Josiah, let's even start from the beginning. Young people all over the world, form at least half of the population. In fact, some countries 70% and all that. And then young people also form the major energy force in countries. Take us through what you think. Let's even go to the nitty gritty because there's a whole lot of things I need us to really discuss. But let's even come from the home front. What do you think we are missing out in harnessing or grooming young people? And that's why we're seeing a disparity between the government, the young people, and the society.
Right. Thank you once again. And I agree with you. We're missing quite a lot in our society, especially in Africa. But I think for us to do justice to this discourse, we should enlighten our watchers, people that are watching us, the fans. What is youth development? We say youth development, youth development. We should understand that youth development is a process through which a young person is prepared to meet adolescents and adult challenges and also to fulfill their full potentials. Now, how could this be supported? How could this be achieved? We promote through lots of activities and experiences that can help them develop a certain aspect of their lives. We're talking about social, ethical, emotional, physical, and cognitive competence. Now, if I come back to your question, what are we missing? Number one, I think we are lacking a structure. Okay, we are lacking a structure that works. And why is a structure is very, very important? If you look at the United Nations report about young people, it says 226 million youth aged between 5, 15 to 24 live in Africa. I'm talking about as of 2015. And that represents 20% of Africa's population. So why is this not important for us to look into? And that makes up to 1 out of 5 people. Now, if we include people that are below the age of 35, then the number increases up to the quarter of African population. Now, if we look at it from a global perspective, 1.2 billion represent the youth. That is 1 out of 6. And that number is expected to grow into 1 out of 4. So I'm talking about 2015 report. Now, if we look at Asia, the youth in Asia, they constitute the largest number of the populations. That is 718 million. The America, as of 2013, looking at people below the age of 25. So in America, they categorize that into early adolescent, which is under 14, and then middle adolescent, which is 15 to 17. Also, they look into the late adolescent, which is 18 to 24. So it's very, very important that there is a structure into meeting all the challenges. So I would say we're missing out a structure. And secondly, I mean, we go into this. And this dates back into the Bible age. When you look at um, Adam and Eve, their first children, Cain and Abel, in the book of Genesis chapter 4, it says that they made sacrifice. And I began to think, so where did they see this from? Apparently, they have seen this from their parents. So parental support is very crucial. So we need a structure, a parental support. Then before we even talk about the government, what the government can do, we are going to look into today. So structure is needed and also.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me quickly take some of these messages again. I want to be taking messages as they come so we don't keep people waiting. So in between the program, I'll just be taking messages so we don't have backlog of them. In case you just joined us, this is the Saturday's edition of Shagalinko TV, and I have my guest here, Josiah Opeyemi Hamza, all the way from the United Kingdom. And we're looking at youth development. How can we make it better? How can we take it to the next level? And he'll be telling us a few tips as we go on the program. I got this one from Helen Ode. It says, our youth should be included in policy making, especially when it has to do with the nation's development. What do you
Mm,
have to say about this, Josiah?
yeah, I do agree with him. The youth needs to wake up. They need to be included in the developmental process. However, my question is, are the youth prepared for these challenges, my brother? Now, let me dig back into. There's a particular young man, Beji Bankole, who was given a chance to serve within the Senate at some point. But we all know what the outcome of that was. We all know what happened. We did not get the intended and expected results, you know, as a young person for him to deliver. So yes, they need to be included, but are the youth prepared? Which is why it is important today for us to look through how we could support these youth to ensure that they are prepared so that when this responsibility does fall on their shoulder to be included in the policy making, then they can deliver. So the youth needs to be prepared. It needs to be included, no doubt, because they are the one we're handing over to. they definitely need to be included. But are the youth prepared? So if I'm permitted, I would love to look into how can the youth be prepared so that when this responsibility just falls on their shoulder, they can then deliver as expected of them.
Yeah, let me take this one before you come back and talk about that. This is from Folayon Bukola Ogunleye. It says, youth need to wake up. True, true, true. Just like you said, are youth prepared for the tasks and responsibilities ahead? Because one thing is to also include people in the issues that affect them. Another is, are they prepared to take that challenge? So we don't get to a point where it's like you're giving a 3-year-old child your car key to drive, so it's something our viewers also need to really know, because people keep screaming inclusion, inclusion, inclusion. We must begin to also ask ourselves, are the people being included, are they prepared for that? Do they even know how serious their role is, how important they are to that force, other than just wasting some of their time in watching films, and all that? Anyway, please go on. You really wanted to reel out some of the things you have in mind. Please go on now.
Yes, when it comes to, thank you very much for that. When it comes to, first, let us identify what our challenges are, and then we'll talk about preparedness. All right. So, in the interest of time and engagement, let's look at what are the challenges we face in the UK youth: knife crime, drugs, and gangs. You know, so what did the government do in order to, let me use the word distract them, focusing on this, sporting activities, short courses, which if you remember, come back on these short courses, is very, very pertinent for our government to look into this. You don't lock people in university for 4, 8 years with ASU strikes and all that, and they come back, they come out with a certificate that is not fit for purpose. That has to be, done away with. People should be able to access courses within a short while that would help them, to meet the impending challenges. Now, in the UK, we have a program of rehabilitations, because what we've done is we do not shy away from the fact that some have been affected, they've gone off track, you know, by the impact of knife crimes, drugs, and gangs. So, what we've done is the rehabilitation programs to create awareness. Social facilities, within communities, swimmings, libraries, dancing classes, things like that. Now, alongside with that, what the government has done is now organize a competition that can put someone who has been affected by gangs, by knife crime, to put them on the global stage, for them now to deliver, for them now to display the inherent talent. So making them from zero to hero, which is quite self-motivating enough for them to say, okay, yes, my life has gone really bad. I've got to put something in order. Why? Because there is an incentive at the end of the day. Yeah. And also participation is encouraged. Now, youth preparedness in Africa is very crucial, in Nigeria especially. But what are the challenges we face for youth? You know, remember at the initial stage I spoke about. I'm sorry to say, a lot of our youth, they've got, I'm not talking about certificates, I'm not talking about the formal form of education. A lot of our youth, they've got nothing upstairs at all. I'm not being I'm lazy. I'm just telling you what I've observed over time. You understand? And through our conversation as well, we have to look into certain things whereby you've gone out of your way to actually put youth on the ladder for them to actually engage and be seen and deliver. They messed up. Why? Because they're not prepared. Also, the mental ability is below par. Okay, so in Nigeria, the challenges we're facing is a good number of our youth now. They are into what we the Yahoo Yahoo, cyber fraud, cyber crime, and all that. So how do we then prepare them to ensure they meet these global or national issues of national discourse? Before they are now integrated into this decision-making process. I think the government, needs to make them on the net. You know, don't threaten the use of internet. Don't say because they do it. No, meet them on the net. So there are programs you could establish. If someone, I thought, and I said within myself, if someone can take their time to think about how they could fraud other people, my brother, such people, they are capable of using that same tools a national advantage. You understand me? So a program that mirrors our local identity, our cultural values, our ways of life should be encouraged and sponsored. You know, Someone who's going to be the leaders of the youth, like a commissioner for the youth, should be someone within that locality and someone that can then organize the young people within the locality, to be able to then deliver. So how do we make them prepared? We need to encourage the culture of transparency. You know, Everyone needs to know what it takes. If, as a person, I know that there is nothing I can do, I cannot be given an opportunity to get to what I dream of. My brother, I won't have that inner motivation to even start with. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So the government, the community, the society needs to be transparent enough on the criteria to get up to success and on the criteria of what it takes for you to be able to give an opportunity to serve. And lastly, on that point, we need to support them in terms of an individual young person now about service, and they think about reward. They think about the roles of leadership, like the guy made mention. And I think recently also, President Muhammad Buhari, appointed a young person to lead the EFCC group. Hopefully, let's see it delivers. You understand me? So the young people needs to start seeing leadership as a means to serve. If all these things could be encouraged, preparing them for that role, even before they are handed that role to start with. So we've got to look at how do we prepare them, and those are the things I've listed over there.
Thank you very much. Let me take some more messages that came in while you were talking. This is from Nina Rich in the United States of America. She says, youth are our future generation. We all, as adults, have responsibility to support youth in business and economic development and growth. Baroness Dr. Nina Ritchie, thank you very much. Do you have any comment for this, Josiah?
Yes, I do, and I quite agree with him. While I was preparing for this program, I spoke to few young people that I know in my contact because I love to be real. I don't want to come and just tell you something that is not achievable. Something that is not smart as a goal. I said to his name is Shola by name, if he doesn't mind me mentioning his name. I said, what are the things you would expect from the government to do for you? And he said to me, and you will know that program very well. He said there was a particular program established by our previous administration, Jonathan Goodluck. They call it a You Win. I don't know if you know about You Win.
Yeah, you win. It's a huge
Good.
one.
Now, and he said to me, and also with the thing Nena Richie said, a program like that with transparency will take people off the street, will take people away from crime, take people away from being idle on the computer. So a program like that with transparency should be encouraged. A program like you win. Chola said to me that he knows about 7 to 8 people that made their way to stardom through you win. So I think I quite agree with him. We need to, and it doesn't have to be from the federal government alone. That's the mistake we're making. Within the local community, let us look inward. What can we do to support the young people? So can we take a lead from a program like YouWin and find that we could on a very smaller scale, organize such program on a very smaller scale and support the youth, to change their course of life and to get on better things. So I agree with him. Programs like such should be encouraged. You there? You there? Yeah, so like I was saying, a program like you should encourage among the young people for them to be able to better their lives. Also, that's what I call a further solutions that I think would help the young people is
You.
what I call.
I'm trying to get another message that came. I'm trying to get another message here. That came in from Betty Anade. Yes, I am. I'm trying to get this message here. Uh,
Go ahead, go ahead, I can hear you. I was just saying one of the things I think the young the society should look into doing is what I call trusted support. You know, through the parent. You know, in those days, the way we raise our young people is quite different. In those, and that's why we have the crop of leadership that we have today. We need to start encouraging the young people to be independent in decision making, letting them understand a life skills called choices and decision making. They need to understand the importance of being independent in making their own choices to support them through in life. So while we were young, it's not about what we wanted. You can't even let me say you can't even have what you wanted. It's all about what the parent believe is best for you. Well, why I'm not saying that didn't work then, it did work, but there's been a shift, you know, societal shift, cultural shift, and a global shift as well. You understand me? What we have access to today, we don't have access to it then. So the parent needs to understand that the young people needs to be encouraged from the early age on making their own choices.
okay.
Yeah, I lost you, so that's why I
Yeah.
continued my.
Sorry for that little hitch there. We're back. I was trying to. Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay. Sorry for that little hitch there. I think the network connectivity just went off, but we're back on it now. So thank you very much. This one is from Betty Anadebe. I'll read it as soon as my guest comes on. Okay. Hello. Hello.
I'm here. I'm with you.
Hello. Can you
Can,
hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Can you see me? I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. So
University degree. So what happened to the remaining three? Perhaps some of them. My brother, you back?
yes, please go on. Sorry for that hitch.
All right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've always been your So I'll just continue to engage with the people. So so what was I saying? What I was saying is that the percentage of people who made it through to university and got university degree, let's say maybe 1 out of 4. So what I'm saying is, what happened to the remaining 3 people? So some of them maybe they fell through along the way, continue to earn their education degree. So this is where the importance of short courses comes in. And I'm saying the government should be very transparent in doing this. I think the government should look back into the motor garage, to people that are into workshop doing carpentry, the mechanics, see them from a different high and give them another chance to life. So I think the government can organize, say for instance, if the government goes to the motor parks, have your own trained people from that same locality, someone from Abuja, come and lead the program in Ibadan. He's got no clue of cultural challenges. Look into different localities, select people that understand the values, the cultures, the challenges they're going through in that community, train them to lead others. So go into motor parks, let the conductors, the drivers, these are people that possibly they've also gone ahead and impregnate people and also building their own families. You've got to come in and support them, government support. So organize a program. Say, for instance, you can say 8 weeks or 6 months, you call it access to transportation. Now, how do you encourage a bus conductor to come for access to transportation course? Then maybe once in a month. Say to him, look, we're going to give you 5,000 naira. You stay through to this program every month. You come every month. You get 5,000 naira every month. So after 6 months, this bus conductor, what do you discuss in that program? Begin to discuss things that affect their daily lives. Most of the bus conductors in Lagos, they do not mind to tear people's clothes, to slap passengers, to abuse passengers. How do you then help them to to you know give them a character that befits the society? It is through giving them some money on a monthly basis. Don't give money to Tinubu or NC Oluomo if you don't get to them. Give it to people that understand their challenges. So organize a monthly program. Let them come. Say, for instance, a bus conductor will be learning access to transportation. At the end of the 6 month program, the bus conductor now have a different orientations to harassing people on the road, to slapping people, to shouting on people. And after 6 months, we could say to him, listen, you've got a 6 month, you've got a certificate, and make those certificates valuable. Make it something they can use to actually get on in life. So someone who's got a certificate within 6 months to access to transportation will say, okay, I want to further. So say, okay, there is another 1 year program. That year program, then it's not a math that you'll be telling them to find X. It does not apply to their daily life. Where is Q? No. Let them begin to learn basic math and English. From there, they could then decide if they want to go ahead and do something valuable for their lives. The bus conductor then begin to dream. Okay, from being a bus conductor, I can be a car owner, I can be a bus owner, I can get people actually going on errands for me as I'm doing for people at the moment. So if you're there, let me on this note, let me share a story for you. Shagalinko, are you there with me? Right. So let me share this story with you quickly. There's a particular man, and I think he's also is on this program. He lives in the UK with me. Um, this is a proper Oshodi man, a proper Oshodi man. It's not good for him to complete his SSC WAEC. So he came to Europe, the UK. This is a man that he couldn't write proper English before, you know. But what did the UK government do? People like that, he went into a course, access to social care, foundation to social care. He did this course. As I'm speaking to you today, this man has a degree, he has a master degree, and he is a professional social worker. And he writes well, he speaks well, and he's doing fine. Person that was is like now because of the program that the government put together, that is God hope to become someone in life. So I think short courses will be very, very important for the government to organize and help people.
Thank you very much. Um, I know some of the screen for a while, and I know you've of them. Um, Betty and Nadabe, a second or third time around, says lot of challenges are being faced by the Nigerian youth, which subsequently have had various criminal activities, drug abuse, prostitution, and violence. Okay. Um, she also said, "Well done, sir." Um, this other one here from her, from Betty, is third time says, "Well done, sir. The youths are a major human resource for development and key agents for social change, economic growth, and technological innovation." Yeah, I know the network has been terrible for a while. It's just bringing me and taking me out. But let's also talk about self-development. In all of this, there's a pidgin English palace here in Nigeria that if person don't like you, at least make you like yourself. So, what will you be telling young people if the society has failed, their parents have failed? Will they also fail themselves? Because you find young people whose parents are really after their welfare. They talk to them, they support them in every way, but they get into school and deviate from the moral lessons that parents have taught them at home. A lot of times I hear when people say it's because the child doesn't have a good home training and all that. But we all know very good people who have moral standards, who have been doing so well in and outside the society, but they just end up having children who want to just be deviant and all that. So, what would you like to say about self development or self help in this instance as we talk about youth development?
Right. Thank you for that. We also have an adage in my dialect. We say that ọmọ tó bá ṣípá nìyá ẹ̀ máa ń gbé. Only a child that opens their arm can the mother carry. So we can talk about the parent, we can talk about the government, we can talk about communities. Okay. Or in between this is a missing link. And the young person himself, needs to take responsibility of their own lives. My brother, the government, Nigerian government has not changed. And look at I am today. You understand me? We It's not because I'm in the UK. I've always taken the bull by the horn, For me to even be here today is out of my aspirations to say, what, please not give me a chance. I know my parents would love to give me a chance, but they're not capable to do so. But I've got this something. So I think the young people also to find a pathway into fulfilling that test in their mandate. Understand me? The internet you see nowadays that the young people are using to do Yahoo and fraudulent activities or going on the street to become prostitute, they could convert this. They could convert this into making their life better. So the onus lies on the young people as well. You've got to be at the center of your own development. So my advice to the young people is listen, there is always a way out. Don't allow what the government could not do for you, or what the parent could not do for you, push you down. No. We have different people who have that today that have testimonies of what they were able to do for themselves when the society let them down, when the government let them down. And listen, the answer is always within. The answer to all these obstacles, the answer to all these problems, the answer to all these you know troubles of life, are always
Yeah,
within.
yeah.
So look within yourself, in your locality. What can I do? Be self-motivated. The young person that cannot do that, listen, one of the things that could work is find a mentor. As a young person, find a mentor who is at the moment now, who is where you love to be. Send an email out. Either they're going to respond to you or not. Send an email, connect on Facebook. Use the internet to your own advantage. Connect on Facebook, send an email to say, listen, don't be dodgy about it. Don't be fraudulent. Do you understand me? Send an email to say, listen, this is where I am. I love where you are today, and that's where I need to be. So I've said it, find a mentor, not someone you're going to send an email to send you money because money, let me be honest with you, money is not really what you need. There are some people from the rich homes, the children of all these everywhere in the university, in private university, they're useless, they're prostitutes. So would you say to me that what they need is money for them to be prostitute and be doing bad? No. So the answer to the solution of where you want to be, the first response is not money. The first response is to first acknowledge where you are, understand where you want to be, find a mentor, okay? Find education, and trust me, you will be there. You will get there. Yeah, thank you very much for that contribution.
Yeah. Okay, very good one. In case you just joined, I know you've missed quite a lot. We're looking at the Saturday's edition, and Josiah Opeyemi Hamza is my guest from the UK. Sorry to everyone, the network has been a bit uncomfortable today. Even with two networks, I'm still battling today. Keep your messages coming. We'll be reading them as we go on. This one is from for Lion. It says the availability of these make money without streets. Example, all these bets, Yahoo, cocaine are making our youth lazy. Yes, I was also going to ask you that, Josiah. Gone were the days where people looked at on ground is that we tend to worship people who have money. So even within the family space, if you are the senior and you don't have money, they celebrate the junior who has more than you. You can't even talk in family meetings, in religious spaces. They give a special seat for people who could do donations and all that. And isn't that why a lot of young people just say that, you know what, there's really no need for me to go work hard when I can go into Yahoo or do cocaine and then bring the money and get all the respect and accolades that I want? What do you really have to say about this?
What I have to say with that regard is number one, we have lost our cultural values. Gone were those days when hard work is respected, when labor is respected. Okay? And I'm sorry to say this, we will not find the answer in churches. The church is not going to help us. If they've been there for decades, we could see that they cannot help us. Now, let me make reference. One of the pastors a few days ago said during the pandemic, he bought his third jet. It was quite shocking. When you look around and see the numbers of pure poor people, even within his own domain, even within his church, there will be people who cannot afford free school meal. So there's been a shift in what we celebrate and what we appreciate. So what I could say to that is number one, the young people need to understand that they are the greatest influencers of the environment. Okay, we need to from this syndrome of if you can't beat them, you join them. It's not going to end well. What pushed someone like Osh Poppy into this is the same thing we're talking about. He wants to make. He's got the. I mean, I'm not giving excuse for nobody. I'm just saying that people of his clan, people of his kind, something led to something. You know, such an intelligent young is doing what is the because of certain things. Okay, and we know what the end result is. Once you're caught, you go to where you go. You understand me? So the young people need to understand that there is no shortcut to wealth. All right, it comes back to you. If you can find, educate yourself, educate yourself on what you want to be. I'll instance my brother, and I'm sorry to permit me to refer into this. You know, some young people in the Bible, all right, without money, without support, they brought themselves together and they said, let us build a tower of Babel, so that we can reach up to God. What did God say in response to them? He said, these people are so what? They are so determined in what they've chose to do. And do this, they would achieve their aim. So it's not stopping you, young man, young lady, and not stopping you. You are the only one that can stop yourself. Do not let the environment influence you negatively. You could pick one or two things from those negative examples around there, educate yourself positively, and make something out of nothing. I'm a living example of that. Thank you.
Okay. We'll be wrapping up soon because I really need to bring you again when we have stronger network. But I need you to speak. You're a life coach and you see a whole lot of things happen. What is the place of volunteering, for youth development? Because a lot of times young people also, even when you give them the opportunity, I remember we talked about inclusivity when we started the program. Immediately we started, I think someone sent a message and said something about they should read that it's one thing responsibility to even know their worth and all that. What in youth development is that young people also don't value volunteering. So all they want to do is, I work now, you pay me money, I need a job and all that. And then they are not experienced. A lot of young people have missed out jobs because when they look at the adverts, it says 5 years experience, 10 years experience. With the kind of strike that ASU goes on here, very a lot of young people end up wasting their youth life, being in school, and by the time they come out, they rarely can get the required work experience years that most companies need. And then the young people are not seeing that volunteering is a huge way of building their capacity and making them get wealth of experience. Now, take us through as a life coach what you think young people can do, because it's like losing two ways. You were in school and ASU strike kept keeping you down for several years. You come out of school, instead of you to embrace volunteering, because even in school young people could gain years of experience if they volunteer. So by the time they even come out of school, they already have merged the volunteering years with all that. So what will you advise young people when it comes to volunteering?
Excellent. Now, you've nailed it. You've nailed the most important part of this course. People look at the UK and they see that the camp is working. They actually do not understand that behind this effectiveness are people who are working for nothing. Let me use my life as an example for you. Qualifications are acquired as a youth worker, the experience acquired as a youth worker, I earned this through volunteering, no pay. So I serve within my community in London, the London Borough of Newcham. That's why I serve voluntarily without getting paid for it. But what I've been to achieve through is that I'll tell you a story of a young man. We need to understand that the young people of nowadays, they are facing a stronger demon, that we are facing in our own youthful age. You see, this particular boy was brought up by a foster parent. All right. So what we got to understand was he he was he felt not wanted by his original parent. And this kind of affected him mentally. So it's very rude. He talks to you anyhow. You respect nobody. That is all that you could think of. He fight, get upset easily. So as a volunteer, as a person working within the community voluntarily, as a volunteer, we got to the root of all this. And then we found a way to actually support this boy. So there are certain things he does that we look away because we know he's fighting something that is powerful than him. You can understand his struggle. So as a volunteer, we speak today, out of the first job within our borough, this boy is the most talented footballer. If the pandemic didn't strike, he should be playing Premier League clubs now, you know. So we're able to nurse to help bring out his talent through volunteering work. You understand me? Also, volunteering brings us closer within the community. So the person you could not speak to on a normal day on the street, where you are, you're serving voluntarily within that community. This person could bring their children, under your tutelage. As a result of that, this person that you could not connect with, that possibly will not respond to you because of their economic class, then have a chance to engage with you. So volunteering is very important. It does not only help the person you're serving, it also helps you as well to bridge the gap and get to connect, social connection. You understand? In our days, we a lot of things you could learn through volunteering. The things you go to university for to learn, while you're volunteering, you could learn it. You know, conflict management. A lot of things would happen, and all these things are things you could put on your CV to showcase yourself on a. So it goes back to our culture of service and reward. We start seeing service as something very important and not looking at immediate reward that we consider today. An average Nigerian today, you want the Nigerian to serve you, is asking you, what are you going to pay me? I mean, he's thinking, what is he going to give me? Even if you send someone an errand, they have this self of entitlement that you should give something. You understand me? So people need to start seeing service as a way to connect, as a way to learn, as a way to engage, and as a way to improve your own social skills. Yeah, so thank you very much. We need to look into that and start engaging as young people, without expecting to be paid for the service. Yeah, it's very, very important. Societal building, volunteering services is the pillars that uphold societal building. The prime minister in number 10 has a lot of people working under him voluntarily without getting paid for it. And that is what is helping the UK. A lot of people volunteering what they do, to help keep the community together, build a stronger, even economy. So yeah, that's what I've got to say on that, my brother. Thank you very much.
Now, I need you to tell us your experience so far being a sports enthusiast and an entrepreneur. How has the journey been? Knowing that there are people who will be watching now and could take a few advice from you. So, in a minute or two, just tell us how it is for you, the experiences gained, and what you think others can learn. But quickly, let me read this message here before you respond to the last
Mm,
question that I've just asked you now. This one is from. If you can see this, maybe you just read it and then you respond to this, and then my last question. Can you
right.
see this?
Oluwasholamipe Olajide. I think our leaders and Nigeria at large need a new approach. I don't believe our leaders are
Olajide.
smart, better,
Yeah.
strong, agile, and more passionate about this country than the groom the youth positively. It's almost impossible not to return when you give out a positive energy. Yeah, so Olajide is basically talking about our leaders' attitude to service. Okay, so Olajide is bringing to question passion behind the leaders. So the attachment of our leaders to our country. And I kind of agree with him. If you believe in a settings, you won't be taking money to go and save in another country. If you believe in a particular project, you won't believe in that and going to buy buildings in another properties in another country. You hardly see a leader in UK and invest in property elsewhere. It's very rare. So I agree with Olajide, Oluwasolabipe Olajide, that our leaders need to, we have to question or get themselves to look in the mirror and reflect on their attitude to service. Okay, they need to, take a stock of their own service to humanity and realize that there are loopholes that needs to be, filled, and they have to have a rethink, a radical overhaul. Meanwhile, we should understand these self leaders are also taken among the youth, which then back young people today is likely to become a leader tomorrow and follow in the same footsteps of the leader that has got no passion, that is not compassionate, that does not empathize, with the populace. So that is why we must not miss the vocal point of this conversation is that we've got to go back to the grassroots. Is but let's agree that we've missed it for the past few years. Okay, the grassroots needs to be attended to. Okay, start changing their orientation, reorienting them through education, short education classes they could attend that they get something to start with. So going back to the grassroots to address the question of attitude to service, the question of their passion about our country. Thank you.
Okay, so finally, just a 1 minute advice to people who want to go into entrepreneurial ventures and using your life experience. I'd like you to talk to them finally as we wrap up the show.
Right. Thank you very much for that. It's very, very crucial for us to know that whatever you're doing for someone today, guys, whatever you're doing for someone today, maybe you're working in an oil company, you can own the same thing you're doing for someone today. Whatever service, as long as you're doing with your whole heart, you're not being indolent about it, you're not being lazy, you're not doing it grudgingly, be on time, be attentive, learn good practices. Whatever you're doing for people today, you can be a owner of such. When I came to the UK in 2008, I was working for an organization into facility management. The owner of that company was a Nigerian. So I engaged with him. I render my service, my whole heart, I get paid for what I do. So I engaged with him. Apparently, he studied economics from Nigeria from UNN, and I did economics from University of Ilorin, diploma in money and banking. I had a little background into economics. So I measured up his intelligence, his level of intelligence. I realized that, listen, I'm actually quite intelligent more than this young man. So if this young man can do this, I definitely can own this. So we got talking. I kept on engaging, opening my eyes to see how things work. How do you advocate for contract? How do you the nitty-gritty of contract? So in 2011, I went ahead, I opened my own company. So I did everything to get contract. It didn't work. So it didn't work. So I closed down that company. And in 2019, I did again. And behold, as we speak now, we run an organization that, by God's grace, I happens to be the CEO that runs into, some thousands of pounds, at the end of the year. So, wow, what happened to me? I believed I can do this. So, what happened to me? I engaged. So, what happened to me? I learned good practices. So, what happened to me? I went out of my comfort zone. I acted. So conceive the idea, believe you can do it, engage, take action. action. That's as an entrepreneur. Now, as a football coach, as a sport coach, which has helped me to engage with local people, from different walks of life, Asians, Africans, English, Europeans, and all that. Some of our boys, as we speak now, they're already in Premier League, the academy, you know. So engaging with young people is quite rewarding. It's very, very rewarding. So within your lookout, wherever you are, wherever you are, be a good example. Engage with them. There's something in you that will stand you out among everyone. In the football club I'm working with, they respect my coaching. I have these what we call emotional intelligence. So making the right decision at the right time, even when game is ongoing, making a decision that could influence the outcome of that game, and also helping the young people along. I'll share a story with you. Please permit me to share this. In 2018, we had a game of what we in the league. We met with a team beat us. The first league, the first game we played with them was the FA Cup. We played against them in the FA Cup. So we lost to them 5-0. Then in the league, they came to play against us in the league, and we lost to them 3-1. Now, unfortunately, so we lost against them in the League Cup. We lost against them in the league, the first leg of the league. Remember, league is both legs. So we lost against them in the FA Cup. We lost against them in the league. So now, before the second leg, we happened to play against them in the final of a League Cup. Remember, we lost against them in the FA Cup and the first leg of the league. So we happened to play against them in the final of the League Cup. Now, the first minute of the game, they scored against the brand. The first minute. So at that moment, you know that my boys, they thought, wow, this is going to be a rolling today. They're going to score about 9, 10 goals. That was before. Because this is just less than 1 minute, they scored their first goal. There was a particular boy, a young person in my team, whom the parent felt is better than he actually is. So he will not come to training. And he actually came to this match with his shoulder high. He came just supposed to be there an hour before the final. He came just about 15 minutes. So I said to my other coach, I said, listen, we won't start him today. He was like, my other coach was like, why are you starting? Not that. This is our best player. The left footed, he's got pace, he's got everything. And this is the thing you've lost against twice. I said, no, we're not starting him. So we didn't start him. And the first minute we scored against us, so it was 0-1. So now you're like, we should have started this guy. Now, just 5 minutes. So in my mind, I was trying to help him because we're talking about youth development. I was trying to help his attitude. Say, listen, you cannot live life like that. For you to go ahead in life and make something, I want to impact your life. So I'm not going to condone your attitude. So you're not starting this game. He was shocked because he was one of the best players. Now, just 5 minutes before the end of the first half, I said to Dave, I said, we need to bring him on. And Dave was like, so why don't you wait to the end of? I said, no. Every players need about 5 to 10 minutes to send to a game. We know he's our best player. So now this is my own emotional intelligence at work. I'm talking about my journey and this is 5 minutes before the end of first half. So Dave agreed with me. So Hamza, go ahead. So I brought him on. So he went on the game, had a free kick, he's left footed, bad. We got a free kick. The guy that took the free kick went against the pole, bang. This guy was there, he tapped him. 1-1 before we went to after. So now we're 1-1 up. Now this guy is so tremendous. He's got pace, he's got everything. Now he has this guy 5 minutes to settle into my brother. Second half, they couldn't handle it. It was just taking them back. He actually want to run with every time. So with him side to side, he's going to play the ball into space. He's going to say, let us run. So they went in, he got the ball, he played the ball into space. He ran with their right back. They couldn't catch him. He made the next first touch into the box and they penalty. So we got 2-1 and then 3-1. We won the final 3-1. The other thing could not believe it. That this is the team they beat us 5-0. 3-1 now on our home turf. And we won it. How am I saying necessities? Whatever you do, your emotional intelligence will stand you out. As we speak today, that boy is 16 years old now. He's playing for Burnley. Burnley is a Premier League football club. He's playing for Burnley. So either have been able to impact his life, to change his attitude to training, to change his attitude to his teammates. Today, myself and his father, we are best friends. So whatever you do, every little counts. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. So finally, who would you like to send your greetings to? I know there are friends, family, and colleagues that you like to send your, but we're bringing you back. I'm not really happy with the network issue, but we're bringing you back to do a few more angles for us. But finally, who would you like this to send your greetings to as we wrap up now?
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, definitely we need to come back on this because we're not able to touch on the what the government could actually do. We need to really go deep into what the government could actually do. I was not able to talk to you about how the parent could support each person. Right. So the first person I'm going to say hello to is my wife. She's been very supportive. Thank you very much, my love. And also I'm going to say Mr. Martins Odigo. I believe he was on the program. He's been of great support to me in my career, even as an entrepreneur. He's been there to answer me. Like I said, you look for a mentor. The mentor don't have to be. You see some characteristics in their life. So Mr. Martins Odigo has been a great mentor in my business aspirations. And also I want to say a big thank you for Lashadi. I think she's on the line. She got the notice in a very short while and then she came on to be with us. So thank you very much. And also Shola, I've been away from Nigeria and also he's taking out time to be with us. So thank you very much, Shola. I appreciate you. I'm always here for you. Anything, talk to me. We can do this together. And also, a big thank you to Share the Link as well. Thank you for having me. And I want to commend your work ethics on nations be always starting point to Share the Link. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. Also to everyone who sent in messages. Today's network has been quite something else, but then the show must go on. That's how it is, yeah. Next week, Tuesday and Saturday is another time for us to have fresh topics. But I'll get back to my guest, Josiah Opeyemi Hamza, and ask him when he can come back and talk about the government support and parent support and other angles we couldn't really reach because the network was just a bit slow and taking us in and out. Well, apologies to everyone, yeah, but these things happen once in a while. Thank you all so much for finding time to join. Thanks to everyone who sent in messages, so numerous for me to mention. The full video will still be here on YouTube and on Facebook, so you could watch after the show. You could share with your friends, and then keep your feedbacks coming. It also helps us to know the next topic to talk about. It helps us to know what guests to bring back and what guests to also merge with others and all that. So the conversation is unending. Youth development is something that we can never finish in one episode, But the bottom line is for young people, take the bull by the horn. The truth is, just like life, no one is going to help you. You have to help yourself. You have to determine. It starts with determination. You have to say, you know what, in spite of all the challenges, in spite of everything, I want to be a better person. I want to leave a mark on earth. And that's just the strength you'll need to forge on. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and once again, thanks to my guest, Josiah Opeyemi Hamza from the UK. I really, really appreciate your comments, your presentations for today. It's so wonderful. Some messages still keep coming in. I'll just quickly read this one here from Folayan Bukola Ogunleye. It says, you have spoken well. Yeah. Thank you for Lion for appreciating our guest as well. Yeah, he spoke so well, and I know we'll bring him back when the network is better for us to have a seamless ride on the show. Thank you all for finding time to join us. Okay, so remember to also click on our YouTube page and click on the notification button. So whenever we come online, you'll get a notification. We're trying to grow our Facebook page to 10,000, and we know you can help us do that. So please, on our Facebook page, Shagalinko TV, do like our page. For those of you who've not liked it, do like our page so we could get at least 10,000. We are like 6,000 plus right now, and we're working towards reaching 10,000, 15,000, and 20,000, so we could get more reaches and all that. The videos will be here, like I said. Do watch, drop your comments, tell us, give us feedbacks. It will help us to also channel those questions to our guest. When he comes next time, I'll ask him to give us the website and his social media where people can reach him on, so that he could be a mentor to young people who want to be mentored by him and all that. My name is Ambassador Emmanuel Gabari, and this is thanking you for joining us today. Let's do it again next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. West African time. Up until then, God bless you all and have a beautiful Saturday. And remember to touch a life in whatever you do. Take care of yourselves, and it's bye from me. God bless you.